Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am, the one and only, Ray the Flying Squirrel here, and once again, I am back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy. So, last time we did manage to able to complete the forms of the fourth world in the game by the forms of, Gloomy Glutch. And as a result though, that is by far the shortest world in the game so far, because relatively speaking, there's not much else to know for the sake of the forms of certain levels like this. I mean, surely we actually did manage to done certain stages no problem, but regardless of such though, yeah. So today for this video is the fact that we are moving on to the fifth world in this game, known as Rool's Keep. So of course that we've almost nearly at the top. So in this case though, is the fact that as to be expected, we're able to find even more DK Hero Coins, and hopefully trying to find the bonus areas along the way. So anyways, let's get to it with the first level on this world, which appears to be Arctic Abyss. So as a result though, we're now able to actually end up in the ice themed levels. So yeah, to be expected by this point. Well, to be more specifically, an ice level, I should say, in combination with the forms of the underwater throughout the majority of this whole level. So, because obviously, as you can tell, that we've now actually stumbled across Ungard the Swordfish. So because of that though, we have not seen him for quite some time at this rate. But hopefully we can able to actually just to use him for the majority of the forms of the underwater segments of this level. So anyway, so if I recall correctly, that the DK Hero Coin might not be too far, but as far as I'm aware, yes, this level does have 2 bonus areas, I'm pretty sure. So, and I think for the majority of this world actually, is the fact that they just have decided to able to do a bit of a pattern when it comes to the forms of those bonus areas in between levels and such like this. Like, for instance, for example, on the first stage in this world, obviously, like I said, does contain 2 bonus areas. And whenever we move on to the next level, that it goes into 1 bonus area, and the next level after that, it will be going back to 2, and then the other level we'll go into, we're able to have 1, and then vice versa within 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 kind of stuff. So, yeah, kind of weird, doesn't it? And I think this is actually the final world to able to feature one of those 2 bonus areas in one of those levels. So because of that though, because at this point in time, after we try to keep on finding the forms of those bonus areas in particular, then obviously every once in a while that we will able to pop over to able to, oh by the way, there's the DK Hero Coin right there, just in case you want able to actually just to know where that is. So pretty self-explanatory to find around here. So anyway, so a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 25th of March today, in this case in 2022 today. So today's the day folks, and that is the fact that recently Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Nintendo Switch has recently came out today. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to able to playing that game for reals now. So even then though, from my first impressions of the game so far, I adored it, especially notable about the fact that, well, it's pretty obvious, Kirby in 3D and all that stuff though, and as a result though, by that time until next week actually, is the fact that we'll be about to be back onto this game, Donkey Kong Land 2, at some point on next Tuesday and Thursday, you know, trying to wrap things up with the game before we're able to actually just to get on with the forms of our Let's Play of Kirby and Forgotten Land at some point on next Monday, because after all, good news is the fact that that game does have file selection, just like the forms of how it does on any other Kirby games, which is a good thing. Well, the only couple of games the exceptions are Kirby Battle Royale for the 3DS and Kirby's Dream Land 1, and what else is there? Oh yeah, Kirby Air Ride, and if I recall correctly, Kirby's Ghost Trap, aka Kirby's Avalanche, from the likes of the forms of that particular Puyo Puyo puzzle game, and what else is there? That one of those Kirby games they do manage to offer us one save file. Aside from that, well, aside from the forms of those eShop titles, but that's besides the point. I think that's as far as I can think about it, so anyway, so let's go ahead and finish the level here, and I get the horrible feeling that that's the end of the level right there. So yeah, it feels like I'm missing one of those bonus areas, yep. So we'll have to head back in there anyway, but hopefully though, it won't be too far I don't think. Well, aside from the fact that I need to able to be super fast and also very cautious with this because most of the time I keep running into those the stupid puff-like fishies in this kinds of levels because I seriously swear to God, they are quite literally impossible to dodge sometimes, but that's probably just from my experience anyway. So anyways, let's go ahead and keep on moving and trying to swim up in the process, so just in case we can able to try to avoid, you know, puffer-like fish and all the other stuff, as well as that porcupine and, you know, crab trap, and thankfully we've got the midway point, so in this case the checkpoint barrel, and let's go ahead and equip the On Guard the swordfish for the better, so just in case we're able to protect ourselves from those sea creatures. So there it is. I somehow accidentally ignored that on my first time I actually just managed to experience this stage, so, but thankfully we found it, so, and of course we can able to expect that assuming if we manage to get this next creme coin, then obviously we'll pause the game and press the select button, and that way it should save our progress. So how's that for that? So anyway, so we now on to 71% done. So yeah, we're actually getting pretty close. So, and you can see that DK's Island in the distance. So yeah, something's worth mentioning. So alright, next level we have is Windy Well. And I think if I recall correctly, that this particular level does have one bonus area. So that's something you need to classify for realizing about this. And the main emphasis on this level is the fact that just like in the console version of Donkey Kong Country 2, that basically we have to deal with the gust of wind that actually just starts to able to force you to go up. So yeah, that might be something worth knowing for. And I think this is actually the final time we're going to be exploring around from the likes of the mines kind of level, because as far as I'm aware, we've already managed to able to experience I won't classify for saying we've already experienced the ship deck levels for about 3 times already, and also we've managed to experience ship mast level environments for about 3 times, so I'm guessing so anyway. Oh, and by the way, that's where the bonus area was located, and of course we still need to collect some more stars, just in case if we're about to be able to accomplish certain stuff like this. In fact, what if we get into Donkey Kong Land 3, obviously the actual bonus segments will be relatively the same, except there was actually one key difference there. But then again, we'll point it out whenever when we do that. Maybe at some point, you know, later on in this year, because we feel like we can able to do 2 Donkey Kong Let's Plays throughout this year, because originally we were expecting to able to do Donkey Kong Country Returns for this year, but sadly that particular Let's Play has been delayed, and during at some point, maybe we can probably do it in next year, like alongside with the forms of maybe Donkey Kong 64. So as a result though, that might be our strategy based when it comes to likely just doing all kinds of games like this for the sake of certain franchises I love and adore. So yeah, that might be something you need to classify for that, so. And as a result though, that also we've actually already experienced, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure the boss fights doesn't... Oh wait, boss fights do count. So, apparently I made a mistake about the forms of the last video, that I accidentally did say that we've already experienced these kinds of level themes for 3 times. Well, technically it's actually 4 times, because, well, I don't know about you, because it has been about 2 days since I actually managed to last played this game in particular. Just mainly is because of the forms of how the fact that I didn't pay attention, so... Anyway, so let's go and keep moving and trying to keep on jumping, so just in case we can able to get involved with that particular gust of wind, so that way we can able to, well, take us upwards, so... But then again though, you have to be very careful not to get hit by the forms of certain enemy encounters, like specifically zingers, as well as the forms of those, these little, cramp traps and all that stuff, but regardless of such though, thankfully you can able to actually just to slow down for a bit by simply pressing the directional pad down, and then if you try to speed up, just simply press the directional pad up, so that way you can able to get the gist of how the fact that you can able to get a bit of movement here and there when it comes to increasing speed and stuff like that, so... And if I recall correctly, well, I honestly have no words, because either way though, that I have to focus, because otherwise, if I get distracted, then otherwise, I'm going to have to able to start all over for that second half of this level, so... And I think we've almost nearly at the end now, it's just the fact that... Oh! That's the end of the level right there! Well, I'm pretty sure we've already collected the DK Hero Coin already, so good news that we've already got that. So, anyways, let's move on to Dungeon Danger? That wasn't exactly the name for it from the likes of the forms of originally from the likes of in Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo. So, apparently, the name has changed, apparently. So, yeah, Dungeon Danger. Kind of a weird and odd name for a choice for that particular level. Although, this level was supposed to be able to originally call it back in the forms of in Donkey Kong Country 2, now this appears to be by the forms of Castle Crush. So basically, because in that level does involves around that particular shifting crushing object that somehow is trying to crush you, but apparently though, that we ended up on the forms of Dungeon Danger for some reason. I have no idea. Probably because it was hard to emulate the actual level with the Game Boy system. So, and by the way, down there, this is where you find the DK Hero Coin. So that's why I classified that of where that is. So, again, for those who ever played this game for the first time, either on the emulator or the original cartridge version, or, you know, emulator. Well, have I said emulator? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said emulator already, but also the 3DS Virtual Console re-release as well. So, yeah, you probably get the gist of it. So there's the cannon right there, so my guess is the fact that the cannonball might be here somewhere, so at least we're gonna able to keep on searching for it, so just in case we don't get confused or lost track of ourselves. So either way though, I honestly have no idea where that is. I wonder where that's gone. Could be over there. Oh god! Ah, dang it. I managed able to go back down on complete accident. But regardless of such, I just died. Oh well. But at the very least we got the midway point, plus with the forms of that DK Hero Coin, so... Alright, so... Let's just go and just keep on exploring in this bit, so... Ah, there it is. There's a cannonball right there. So basically, all we need to do now is just... That's the wrong section. That's the definition of the wrong section. So, yeah, I honestly have no words to think about it. So I'm just gonna commit suicide again and just, like, try this again for, well, third time's the charm, I guess. So, alright, so let's not mess this up now. So it's just that... Oh god, that was close. Oh, jeez Louise. Sometimes you never know until the enemies decide to show up right in front of your face, but most of the time, it just happens most of the time. Alright, so there we go. Now we can just hop over here, and there we go. Now we just need to pop this onto the cannon, and that way we're able to find the token while trying to able to dodge a lot of gremlins while they're trying to climb on the chain, and there we go. Whew! That was actually pretty swell, I have to say. But that doesn't end off here, because as far as I'm aware, this level has 2 bonus areas. So, yeah, that might be something worth noting for anyway. So, alright, so it's going to be very careful not to get hit by those porcupine-like enemies. And then, I think if we go here... Actually, no, wait. There might be... Oh, wait. Aha! There you are. There's the actual bonus barrel. Sometimes you can be very easily be tricked. Sometimes when it's like not show up, but as soon as you're able to keep moving around a lot, then basically you can able to actually can tell that you find the bonus barrel. So there we go. Alright, if I recall correctly, I'm presuming that we actually onto 6 Creme coins left. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we actually getting pretty close at this point. So because, yeah, in order to able to actually get access to the true final world in the game, which, by the way, much like the forms of the Super Nintendo version of Donkey Kong Country 2, or should I say, the Super Nintendo counterpart. Oh, by the way, that jump right there, assuming if you're trying to use Diddy Kong, that jump is quite picky at points. But regardless of such, I did manage to find this a bit lucky by trying to make it to that specific distance. So that's something worth classifying for able to noticing this from the get-go, so... Alright, next up what we have is the forms of... I won't classify for saying the... Oh wow, we got ourselves the DK Hero Coin already. that's pretty swell, I have to say. So anyways, here we are on to Clapper's Cavern, and basically it's the second ice-themed level. So the main emphasis on this level, much like the Super Nintendo counterpart, is the fact that every once in a while we'll meet up with our familiar friend. Ever since during the course of what was the last time we saw him? Oh yeah, Lava Lagoon. So basically we have to use Clapper for the majority of the level, except now that he now decides to able to actually frozen up the actual freezing cold water, because if you get involved with the cold water, you lose one of your Kongs, or worse, death if you're not careful. So yeah, it's kind of like the forms of how it does in Lava Lagoon, except rather than just trying to worry about the forms of that very hot water temperature. So yeah, you notice about the fact that we've already got the DK Hero Coin at the very beginning of the level, so you have to approach onto the left as you saw on screen for about a few minutes ago. And also we found the only bonus area on this level, so pretty easy, assuming if you're able to use Dixie Kong for the majority of this level. So, and as far as I'm aware, that's pretty much about it for this level. Although, the only trickiest part about this level sometimes though is the fact that, wow, if you come across into the forms of whole groups of those zingers right there, basically if you see those two line up on their vertical position, basically you have to do a bit of a sliding technique, because obviously that since the icicles has been super slippery and everything, so yeah, you just have to be able to consider that particular tip and like a trick and stuff. But there we go, end of level right there, so huzzah. Okay, so now we move on to Chain Link Chamber, which I will have to be honest right here, is the fact that out of all the actual levels in this particular world, I'm not too thrilled about this level though, although that's only mainly because of the forms of the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that unlike the Super Nintendo counterparts, they can see pretty much almost everything, whilst in here though, you know, we have to do a screen crunch, and as a result, that we have to do the forms of guesswork. So yeah, in this level we have to do a lot of climbing onto those chains, so yeah, that might be something worth noting for this level's gimmick. So, and I think, if I recall correctly, it's just an O. I almost first thought that was a bonus area for a second there, but hopefully, as soon as we find, maybe not here, is it up there? That will be for later, because, hold on. Sometimes you never know if you may be able to actually find a bonus area sometimes, so actually let me go back up there again. Nope, that's just a banana bunch, but let me see what's on here. Oh, wait a second. There we go, there's one of those bonus areas right here. I think if I recall correctly, this level also has 2 bonus areas, and yeah, this is actually the final level to able to feature 2 bonus areas in one level, because until the next few levels later, then we can expect that we can only find just one, so because of the forms of the Game Boy's limitations. So there we go, Creme Coin number 43, so I think we only down to 4 left. So, and I don't think we can probably get the Creme Coin for free whenever we get to the last level of this world, because unlike the console version, or the console equivalent, or the Super Nintendo counterpart, basically though is the fact that I believe you get a Creme Coin for free if we meet up with Donkey Kong and stuff like that, when Donkey Kong has been, you know, directly kidnapped and stuff like that, but regardless of such, I don't think that might be the case this time around in this game, so. Alright, so down there, DK Hero Coin, so nicely done. So it's how to crouch for a moment, so just in case we don't want to get hit by the zinger. And most of the time though, sometimes the hitbox can be a bit weird at times in this game sometimes, but we'll just have to stick around with it, I guess. But so yeah, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. I forgot to tell you guys ever since the very beginning of the video. Basically, what do you guys think about the forms of the actual game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, for the Nintendo Switch? Because personally, I absolutely adored it so far. Especially notable, I can't wait to able to do a Let's Play for you guys out there, until specifically next Monday, because after all, that ever since Journey Forms have been yesterday, that recently, Mega Man, he's now recently finished up with Metroid. So because of that though, hopefully we will continue our Metroid series of Let's Plays in the future. Because, well, despite our views count wasn't exactly all that high, but regardless of anything else though, is the fact that it's actually good about the fact that we can able to try out something new. So we can able to expect that we can able to do the future installments in the future. So anyways, so let's go in here, and I get the feeling, there it is. I was wondering of where the actual, the bonus area was, so in this case though, time to able to get rid of those enemies by, you know, sometimes roll into them, or, the majority of the time, bounce on them. 44 Crimp coins, so I think we've only down to 3 left, so yeah, we're actually getting pretty close until we, hopefully, try to able to actually access to the, well, the true final world in the game, which it's not going to happen until, specifically, I would say this right now, until by the end of March though, so because of that though, we can able to actually expect to able to mention about that, although I will mention this briefly, that unlike the forms of the Super Nintendo counterpart, that basically in order able to actually access the forms of the Lost World, basically you know the forms of how the fact that in order able to actually just pick, in order able to actually experience every level from the likes of the Lost World, you have to pick up for about 75, or specifically all 75 of those Crimp coins in order able to actually just to experience the entirety of Lost World. But here's the thing though, is the fact that you have to pay 15 Crimp coins each time if you manage to able to go into the other worlds. So, in fact, I'll talk more details about that in the future. So, in this case, yeah, we're basically done with Chain Link Chamber. Now let's move on to Toxic Tower. So, of course, as we expected, that this level is very similar to the forms of, let's just say, by the forms of Slime Climb from the likes of the forms of the second world, except the biggest difference is now, it takes place in the forms of, well, I would say this entire level theme is based around Castle, so, because it's pretty obvious about the fact that in K-Rool's Keep is the fact that we're going to be exploring in the majority of the Castle theme level, so... And I think, if I recall correctly, is the fact that unlike the Super Nintendo counterparts of this level, is the fact that I'm pretty sure they've managed to switch things around a bit for those animal buddies as far as I'm usually concerned with. Like, I think, if I recall correctly, that you start the level off on the Super Nintendo version, or to be more specifically, the Super Nintendo counterpart, that basically you start the level off as in, you know, Rattlesnake, or Rattly the Rattlesnake, and then after that though, you're moved on to, I would say, I have no idea, because either way though, because it has been quite a long time actually since I've last played Donkey Kong Country 2, for, not only for the Super Nintendo, but also the Game Boy Advance remake as well. So, because I was into the forms of other games, you say, so... Oh, wait a second, only forms have been, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what I was about to say, because either way, though, because, relatively speaking, you start the level off as in, Squidward the Snake this time around, though, which I'm guessing is like a bit of a switcheroo kind of syndrome. And as far as I'm aware, the second animal buddy you'll be using is Rattly the Rattlesnake, and I get the strong feeling that the last animal buddy we're about to be using on this level, it appears to be buddy forms of, well, Squawks the Parrot, so yeah, that might be something worth noting for the sake of this massive differences anyway, so... Because, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that this level plays out exactly like the Super Nintendo version or the Super Nintendo counterpart, except, well, obviously we now need to do the forms of screen crunch, but luckily we've got the midway point, or the checkpoint I should say, so at the very least we'll still be, alright in all that stuff though, so, anyways, let's go and continue. Yeah, if I recall correctly, unlike the Super Nintendo counterpart for the likes of, Toxic Tower, basically you start the level up as in Rattly the Rattlesnake, like, usually you're gonna have to able to make your way, just trying to able to bounce higher enough to able to actually make your way to, the next section and all that stuff. And the second animal buddy you have to be using is Squawks the Parrot, and finally, with the forms of the third and final section, is that you got to able to use Squidward the Spider, so... Yeah, they somehow changed things a lot when it comes to the forms of not only the level layout, but also with the animal buddy system on this particular level, so... seems interesting, all things considered. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to explain. But unfortunately, though, I haven't exactly got a clue of what I was about to say at first. But, anywho. Now, I suppose I should probably mention about the final thing for this point today, and that is the fact that for those of you who lived in Europe, is the fact that recently the Nintendo 3DS has now officially become 11 years old in United Kingdom. So, yeah, I can't even believe that the 3DS has already been 11 years old recently. So, yeah, time flies, doesn't it? So, anywho though, oh yeah, as far as I'm aware, Toxic Tunnel, or Toxic Tower I should say, because I keep on thinking about the forms of, I have no idea what the actual thing itself I was going to be thinking of anyway. But anyway, Toxic Tower does manage to retain one bonus area, which we've already found, and the DK Hero coin as to be expected. So, but of course, we've already managed to sort this out, so... Alright, so I have to be very careful with this ending portion, because if I screwed this up, I have to go all the way back to the second half of this the stage. But there we go. Whew! That level's kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, let's hit on to the forms of the last level in this world, which is Stronghold Showdown. So, let's see what this level's gonna bring us into. Oh look, there's Donkey Kong! Quick! Get him out! Oh, wait a second, he's probably gonna be taken. And what's also very weird is the fact that they managed to reuse the actual music from if you failed the bonus area. So, yeah, that seems kind of odd. And as I said, no Creme Coin rewarded, so yeah, that's as far as I would like to mention. So, anyway, so I think suffice to say, we'll go ahead and end things off this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong Land 2. That is the fact that we'll hit on to the 6th world in this game, which appears to be the Flying Croc, and hopefully rescue Donkey Kong. So I'll see you guys on next Tuesday. Later, fellas.